We've already talked a little bit about iconographic programs. I think that was about 2 years ago. But I want to talk about one painting in particular today. Now, iconographic programs have to do with paintings and murals, not sculpture. So iconographic programs have to do with composition and how the figures are laid down from the center out and top to bottom. So we have three types of iconographic programs that we find, or we can divide up the last 1,000 years of deity and teacher compositions into three types. The first is traditional textual, the second is conventional constructed, and the third is individual personal. I haven't decided on what are the best terms for these, so that's why I have these two names for each. Traditional textual means it's based on a tantric source. It's a Kala Chakra, or it's Hevajra, or it's Vajrakila, or it's a grouping of Avalokiteshvara related figures, or a Mogapasha. Conventional constructed means that it's really of Tibetan origin, and it is a composition that's constructed of various deities that are related to an administrative or political group, meaning Nyingma or Sakya or Jonang or various Kagyu traditions or Gelug, where all of their most popular subjects are put together in a single composition, or related meditational deities in a composition, and for Gelugpas and Sakyas and all the common wrathful deities of Sakya or Gelug are put into a single composition. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the individual personal, because this marks a big change with Himalayan art, because the traditional textual are primarily pre-17th century, and then they fall out of favor. Now, also around this time, we really developed the conventional constructed, political, administrative groupings of figures, which has to, of course, it has to do with self-identity, like what are you? Are you a Drukpa Kagyu? Are you a Drikung? Are you part Drikung and part Karma Kagyu? Are you part Karma Kagyu and Nyingma? Are you Surmang? Are you Nado? It has to do with self-identity, and gives rise in some senses to sectarianism, but not necessarily sectarianism in a bad way. So the painting we're looking at is Har 347, and it is a painting that I've highlighted before. The central figure is Guhyasamaja, and then around this are many different figures. Now, this marks really the beginning. This is a great example that shows individual personal iconographic programs where the individual decides what they want in a painting. And this is really 17th century, post-17th century, where people, yes, we can still find traditional textual compositions, and we still have the constructed sectarian compositions. But 17th century and after, we have this new concept where people, the donors or the artist, they just put whatever their favorite figures are, even if they don't go together doctrinally or textually or traditionally. Let's say somebody has is primarily Gelugpa, but then they might have a teacher or meta teacher who's Nyingma or Sakya or even Bumpo, and then they want to put different things that they've learned together or different meditational practices. So this is what is an individual, a personal, or in Tibetan, a desire painting. It's just a painting that you desired, and you created the composition and the iconographic program. So for the painting here, we have Guhyasamaja, the Akshobhyavajra version of Guhyasamaja, at the center, and then at the top we do have some number sets. We have the three long life deities, Ushnisha, Vijaya, Amitayas, White Tara. We have the group of three, Atisha, Dromtun, and his other students. And then we have the Yabse Sum, the father and sons, the three, which is Tsongkhapa, Khedrup, and Gyatso. But then we have a small Panchen Lama figure put in, and then that's sort of it for historical figures. And we have a Buddha, we have a Vajrasattva, we have two forms of Vajradharma. Vajradharma is the Mother Tantra counterpart to Vajradhara, who is primarily Father Tantra. Not commonly known. Most people don't care, don't follow that system. It's an early system. It is followed in Sakya and Jonam, and a little bit in Gelug. So moving down the composition, then we have a chakra samvara, and then we have, on the other side, we have a white chakra samvara for long life. This comes out of the Shakyashri Bhadra tradition, but can also, it is a pure vision of Lama Umapa as well, a teacher of Tsongkhapa. Now, the long life deities we have above and the Vajradharmas are completely unrelated to Guhyasamaja. They're put in there by the donor. You cannot read this painting and come up with any sense of how to explain Buddhism or explain Vajrayana, because it's all mixed together, with many things excluded, but many things included, just at the whim of the donor. So then we have a Vajrayogini. We have really a number of different things going on. We also have on the right side, just on the lower right side of Guhyasamaja, we have Vajrapani Hayagriva Garuda subject, and this is again as a pure vision from Lodra Kenshin Leke Dorje, which is another teacher of Tsongkhapa. Then we have Vajrayogini. Lower down on the left, we have a standing white figure, multiple heads, multiple arms, and this is coming out of the Chakrasamvara cycle of Tantras. On the right-hand side, we have Vajrabhairava, completely unrelated to Guhyasamaja. So we have several major tantric systems represented here. We have the Chakrasamvara, we have the central Guhyasamaja, we have Vajrabhairava, and then down below, then we have many Mahakala type figures. We have four-faced, one-faced, six-armed. We have also obstacle removing. We have several worldly deities. We have three worldly deities. So it's all mixed. It's very, very mixed. And so this is what we're talking about with individual, personal, iconographic programs. There's a freedom that arose just before and after the 17th century, because also the aesthetic, the direction that the artists went in was to have more open canvases rather than having registered type structures and very strict structures of hierarchy and program, iconographic program. So this allowed for individuals to have more freedom for creating very personal and in some ways more meaningful paintings that relate to their own personal practice. So just to highlight this painting, which I think is one of the best examples for individual iconographic programs. So press the like button. You can subscribe. But more importantly, if you can, help support the work we do and join HAR on Patreon. And on that site, we have longer videos, more in-depth. We also have unpublished articles, and we have images that are not yet published on the main HAR website. So, thank you very much.